Look at your hand right now. It is holding a device capable of accessing the entire sum of human knowledge, yet you are using it to stare at this video. It is past midnight. The blue light from the screen illuminates your face in the dark room. You promised yourself you would start that project hours ago. Instead, you opened another tab. You refreshed another feed. You feel a familiar heavy warmth in your chest. It is a mixture of guilt and quiet panic. You want to stop. You actively want to change your behavior. But your fingers move across the glass anyway. It feels like someone else is driving your body. You blame your lack of discipline. You think you are lazy. You believe something is fundamentally broken inside your mind. But here is where it gets worse. This frustration is not your fault. Your inability to focus is not a personal failure. It is something much deeper. It is a biological trap. You are currently trapped inside a glitch. Think about this for a second. Why would an organism deliberately choose to harm its own future? No other animal on Earth does this. A bird does not delay building its nest until the storm arrives. A wolf does not postpone the hunt because it does not feel motivated. Only humans possess this strange disease of execution. That is not the strangest part. The stranger part is that your brain is performing exactly as it was designed to. Every time you delay, your nervous system is actually trying to protect you. It is operating on an ancient logic. To understand why you cannot stop doing this, we need to look at what happens when you look at that blank document. Your brain does not see a task. It sees a threat. We must travel 300,000 years into the past. Imagine a world of endless grass and sudden death. The Pleistocene savanna is brutal and silent. Our ancestors did not live for next month. They did not have 5-year plans. They lived for the next 12 seconds. A human hunter in this era faced constant peril. The cold bit into their skin. Hunger was a permanent shadow. A rustle in the bushes could mean a predator. It could mean the end of their genetic line. In this hostile landscape, long-term planning was a deadly luxury. If you saved food for a year from now, someone would steal it. If you invested energy into a distant project, you died of starvation today. Survival demanded a radical focus on the immediate present. Your brain evolved to crave instant rewards. Calories had to be consumed now. Safety had to be secured now. This is where the modern defect reveals its true purpose. The ancient brain developed 2 main systems. One is the prefrontal cortex. It is the rational part that wants to write your essay. The other is the limbic system. It is the ancient emotional core. The limbic system wants survival and comfort, and it always wants them immediately. When you look at a difficult task today, your limbic system misinterprets the stress. It cannot differentiate between a tax return and a saber-toothed cat. Both trigger the same threat response. The amygdala fires. Cortisol floods your system. Your brain screams at you to escape the danger. So, you open a new tab. You seek the safety of a funny video. In that exact moment, your ancient brain celebrates. It believes it just saved your life from a predator. The system worked perfectly. But in the modern world, this perfect tool becomes a cage. The proof of this cage lies in a cold room in 1997. A psychologist named Timothy Seikl at Carleton University wanted to see this battle inside the human mind. He tracked hundreds of students using handheld pagers for several weeks. Every time the pager buzzed, the students had to report what they were doing and what they were feeling. The results shocked the researchers. The data showed that procrastination was not a problem of time management. It was an involuntary act of emotional regulation. The students were not avoiding the work itself. They were avoiding the bad feelings associated with the work. But a more sinister experiment happened in 2013. Dr. Fuskia Siroa examined the concept of temporal discounting. She discovered that when humans are stressed, they suffer from a form of psychological myopia. The brain loses the ability to see the future self as a real person. Think about this for a second. Brain scans reveal that when you think about your future self, the areas of the brain that light up are the same ones that light up when you think about a total stranger. To your neurological system, the version of you that will face the deadline next week does not exist. You are actively passing the pain to a person you do not know. The experiment proved that every time you delay, you are conducting a small cruel trade. You purchase a tiny amount of immediate relief today. You pay for it with a massive amount of suffering tomorrow. The brain chooses this trade because the distant future feels like an abstract fiction. The answer will scare you. We are not designed to live in the world we built. We are operating with ancient machinery in a hyper-stimulated environment. Now, come back to the present room. Look down at your hands again. The weight in your chest might still be there, but its meaning has changed. You are not lazy. You are not weak-willed. You are an exquisite masterpiece of biological engineering. Your brain is doing exactly what it was optimized to do over millions of years of brutal evolution. It is prioritizing your immediate survival. It is keeping you safe from perceived discomfort. The tragedy is that you are trying to operate this ancient machinery inside a world it was never meant to navigate. Your ancestors survived by ignoring the future. Now, your entire life is dictated by calendars, credit scores, and invisible deadlines. You are a paleolithic hunter trapped inside a maze of spreadsheets and glowing screens. You cannot fix this with a new calendar app. You cannot cure this with a motivational video. The conflict inside your skull is structural. It is the friction of an old soul living in a new world. So, forgive yourself for the hours you lost tonight. The stranger who will wake up tomorrow to face the consequences is actually you, and that person deserves your compassion, not your anger. When you finally close this tab, the silence of the room will return. The ancient world is gone, and the modern one does not care about your design. You're just a creature doing its best to survive a future it was never built to see.